Okay, so every time I try to give Karen a little bit of a pass and say maybe I'm being too hard on her, she do something that makes me just have to tear her ass up. Real Housewives of Potomac.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 4, episode 5. As I said, every time I try to take it a little bit easy on Karen Huger, she does something that just drives me crazy. But we start this off. Karen has got up and walked away from the table. Candace actually goes out after her, talks to her. Um, of course, I'm going through too much. I'm not really thinking about Gizelle. The stuff she's talking about is not important. I have other things going on, this, that thing, and the other. We're like, okay. So I said to myself, I said, James, maybe you're being hard. You're being hard. Let Karen have her moment. Yes, Gizelle did do a lot of stuff last year. She did. She really did. But they come back to the table. Karen and Gizelle kind of hash it out, and then it's okay. Then Candace starts talking, and she goes into this thing, and she was talking about her mother. And this is when we found out that Dorothy just arbitrarily diagnosed Candace herself being bipolar when she was 10 years old. Now, I don't get bipolar at all from Candace. I don't get that at all. I get not not strong. I get that she's very weak, but I get that she's also been beaten mentally to be that way. I think she's been beaten and mentally manipulated to be the person that she actually is. But I don't get bipolar at all. And when she said to her mother, actually referred to her a dumbass bitch and would hang up the phone on her and stuff, I said, oh no. You've been playing mental games with this girl for most of her life. And Dorothy. So the more I hear, the less I care for Dorothy. Dorothy's a manipulative whore, like I said way back. Katie jumps in and tells her, girl, what you need to do is call her and tell her, call her a bitch and then hang up on her and y'all be even. I said, don't do that, girl. Don't you listen to nobody to have your mother whoop your ass now. They're done. That's just that Katie. Katie cut from a different type of cloth. That shit probably would go over real well down to Katie's house. But up at your house, I don't think that's going to go over so well, sis. You may not want to do that to Dorothy. Just leave that alone. Leave that alone. Anyway, moving on. We had Katie, Candace, and Gizelle actually went out and they were talking. Um, and Candace was telling Gizelle, you got to give Karen some space. Don't challenge her. Just give her some space. And in that little time they had together, Candace actually shared with them that she felt like Ashley, like there was something going on. Like Ashley was playing a game and all of this about not wanting to drink, but every time you see her, she's turning the bottle up. Like this all just kind of bullshit. And it is. It's all for attention. It's all really for attention. Then I see something that kind of threw me into a bit of a dizzy tizzy, where I said I knew that this was just she's full of shit and it's all really for attention. She's talking to her mother, Ashley. Was talking to her mother on the phone and she was saying, I got my period. And she was down in the dumps. And she says, okay, well now, I can party now. But you've been partying. You're meaning to tell me that you actually were walking around and you thought that there was a chance that you were pregnant and you've been drinking this whole time. You full of shit. You're very convenient. You're convenient and you're full of shit. Because if you're down in the dumps because you got your period, that meant that at some point you felt in your spirit that you could possibly be pregnant. And yes, you have been throwing glasses of liquor down your throat the whole time. You're full of shit. I don't want to hear no more about it. You're full of shit. So all of this about don't tell my husband that I had a shot. No, that ain't nothing but for attention. And I can't stand people who play them kind of games, especially when it comes to their marriage. Like they try to make it be like the marriage is something that it ain't. Like he's so concerned with you. Girl, we know better, girl. Go sit down. Go sit down. Your husband worried about taking a throat shot, for the teams. And just shut up. Just ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. Karen sits with Monique and they're talking, and Monique was telling her that the whole family's basically coming in for this baby shower she's having. And this will be the first time that the mother-in-law has been to the house. I said, ooh, I hope they film that because that mother-in-law was a hot mess, honey. I said, boy, I bet I'll have something to say when we get to seeing that. Because she's something I can imagine she going to be right in there cutting up. Because she seems like the type of woman that ain't going to break her stride. She's just nasty, and that she is who she is, and take it or leave it. So I'm interested to see it. Gonna be interesting. Let's move on over. We see the girls all get together, and they go and they meet Gizelle's dad. And he's so funny. He just is arrogant. Honey. He is truly the male version of Gizelle. It's his birthday. And they meet him out at the Whitney Plantation. And they go for a tour of the Whitney Plantation. When I was actually in New Orleans, the folks that I was with, they wanted to go to Whitney Plantation, and then the plan just kind of got shifted. Me personally, I never actually wanted to go. I was going to go, I'm a team player, so I would have gone, but I didn't. It just didn't. I didn't want to run that gamut of emotions. I did it bad enough here, just watching on the television. I didn't want to run that gamut of emotions in person. I really didn't. I was relieved when we didn't go. And when I seen it on television here, I was like, I'm so glad we didn't go. I am so glad we didn't go. It was horrific. It was just horrific. Beautiful, beautiful place for people on the other side, but the people on our side of it, horrific. It was nice that she could actually get her family lineage story, but the visuals just was ready to take me out. I said, it was a lot. Anyway, so that was cool. That was really cool, And I'm funny. It said, look, that's a whole different Gizelle. All that bullshit ass Gizelle went and like her father. I don't think he would actually approve of the Gizelle that we actually see on TV, because that Gizelle went in her purse. She wasn't acting nothing like that at all around her father. So, I was taking notes. Then there was this point when they were going to go out. So Gizelle pretty much had them all dressed up like it was Mardi Gras, even though it wasn't, just to go hang out, just to have the New Orleans experience. And you have to go down Bourbon Street and enjoy Bourbon Street if you go to New Orleans. It's very interesting. It's very busy. And I went, it was during Jazz Fest. It wasn't Mardi Gras. It was very busy. Very busy. Very interesting. I don't think that I would ever actually walk down Bourbon and be totally drunk, because I felt as though I needed to really be aware of my surroundings. When there's a lot going on, I need to be aware of my surroundings. So I don't do drunk in crowds. I ain't really into that too much. Like drunk, all up in crowd. I need to see what's going on. and I need to know what's going on here, there, over there, and back there, especially back there. So, yeah, interesting, very interesting. But they all got all dressed. I'm laughing at Gizelle wobbling on these heels. I said, girl, I'm gonna sit down. This pink wig. I said, okay, girl. But Gizelle, this is the most laid back that we've ever seen Gizelle, and open and having a good time. She's literally walking around and she's having a good time, and it's actually nice to see. Karen decided she wasn't going to go, and she was playing this whole card of grieving, and that's what she's doing. She's playing a card of that she's grieving. They were in the downstairs in the lobby waiting on everybody to come down. Karen and Gizelle looks at her phone and see Karen's on Instagram Live. She just got off the phone with Ray, telling Ray how, she was feeling some kind of way, and, she really was grieving hard, and she was just going to go ahead and lay it out. Lying bitch. You was just again, an attention seeking old whore is what she came across as. She's on Instagram Live, gets on there, she starts shading Gizelle because Gizelle went on and was talking to her. She's ignoring Gizelle. Really, Karen? Robin, of course, is late. How you in another city late? Ridiculous. They down there waiting. They said, girl, we get on the bus. They don't even wait on her no more. They're like, girl, we gone. They left her ass. And they went on out and she had come. I said, that's just ridiculous. That is really ridiculous. I don't blame them. I'd have left her too. They went out, had a good old time, came back there drunk and shots. And listen, Ashley was, don't tell my husband that I'm having shots. You're drunk, bitch. Shut up. She's on my nerves. They were drinking their little shots and stuff. They come back, goes up to Gizelle's room. Hey, and they're doing more shots to carry it on. And then, oh, child of beads. Lord, they had these beads. And they pulled out these. Didn't that damn Katie pull out both her tits? I said, even through the blur, you could see them with some complete McDonald's flapjacks. I said, girl, them titties, don't you pull them titties out no more. I wish I had extra hands so I could give those 4 thumbs down for them titties, honey. Them titties was terrible. I was like, them were flapjacks, honey. Them ain't titties. But they just were having themselves a good time. And then Gizelle, the old Gizelle, shows up and says, Candace doesn't believe that you're trying to get pregnant to Ashley. And Ashley busts out and went into this whole victim thing. And even Monique said it herself. She says, now that you're seeing Ashley get a taste of her own medicine, she ain't liking it. But of course, she started defending the drinking part. Her drunk ass would. Because, she likes to drink. She only ain't drinking because she's pregnant. But she said, nobody ever said that if you're trying to get pregnant that you can't drink. Once you find out that you're pregnant, then you just can only, there was something about 1 glass of water. No, when you're pregnant, you don't drink at all. Period. Drunk bitches. I was like, shut up, Robin. Nobody listening to you. Just shut up because you can't even make it on time. Shut up. And Monique, you like to drink up everything. I don't even want you around my rubbing alcohol. Just shut up. I was like, Lord have mercy. But Ashley was playing this victim, and that's not fair, and this, that thing, and the other. And child, Katie got up and left. Katie went to shits and all. She's like, well, I'm going to go to bed. She left, honey, and I said, oh, Candace. Candace was giving it to Ashley. I told her she was going to give it to her on the front end or the back end, didn't I? And she was like, I'm just sitting there. She's in her confessional. She said, I'm holding off because I don't want to say nothing about her dick-sucking husband because I don't want it to come across as attack the Darbies. But she's pushing it. I was like, I said, okay. And that's where we ended. It's going to pick back up there next week. But I'm just looking. I'm waiting. Candace, I said, she going to push Candace. Candace going to talk about Michael. And I'm right here waiting on it, honey. And it was, what Candace is saying, she is coming across very judgmental. But that is truly what Ashley's done to everybody else. So let it rip. It is what it is. don't like her no way. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all next week.